What's up, guys? My name is Paul. Today I'm going to talk to you about Sweden for Americans. As some of you know, I'm a Swedish American. My father is Swedish, my mother is American. I've lived back and forth my whole life. The first thing you need to know about Sweden is that it is one of the most secular, if not the most secular countries in the whole world. That's not to say that they don't have any kind of beliefs about right or wrong or code of conduct. Their beliefs about right and wrong aren't based in religion. The only beliefs that they have based in religion are the ones that have kind of survived the last 100 years when Swedes really turned their back on religion in general. Now, the result of that is that they've created some very strong beliefs in certain specific values. And I'm going to talk about a couple of them right now. The first is nature. Swedes have a tendency to believe that anything natural is inherently good. They are, generally speaking, more active than Americans. They're definitely more outdoorsy. They are significantly more environmentally conscious. Just one of those things that Americans are probably going to have to get used to. Swedes don't drive everywhere. If something is within, walking distance, the definition of walking distance is typically quite a bit further than in the United States, then they're going to walk. The second value, which has also become a borderline obsession in Sweden, is equality. Swedes are obsessed with equality, and not just between men and women, but between older people and younger people, between different ethnicities, and even different cultures. This is a topic that you have to tread very, very lightly upon as an American. Obviously, you have to do so in Sweden as well, but those of us who are used to it don't have to be as conscious about it. Fairness and equality is something that they are very sensitive about and will not hesitate to speak up about should they feel as if their boundaries have been crossed. Moving on and kind of piggybacking on the equality thing, Swedes really don't like it when people stick out or perform better than everybody else. For that reason, instead of becoming goal focused like Americans are, they've become very, very process oriented. Swedes have developed what they refer to themselves as a very flat society with nobody sticking out and nobody being like super performers. That will be in conflict with many Americans and their desire to move forward in life, which Swedes don't have to the same extent. The biggest issues that Americans will have in Sweden are those regarding the work environment. Now, the United States has gone pretty far in the Swedish direction regarding time off and employee well-being and all that stuff, but it's nowhere near how it actually is in Sweden. Swedes are, first of all, exceptionally sensitive to being pressured into things. Even if those things happen to be within their job description, they feel it is their right to not do certain things if they're not comfortable with it. And that's obviously in conflict with most American beliefs. In addition to that, Swedes are very open about demanding their time off and conversely very shut down regarding working extra even when it may be necessary. With that said, as an employee in Sweden, I believe that you'll be working under significantly better leadership than you typically do in the United States. The United States is suffering from poor leadership right now, mainly due to the fact that they are still living on a false sense of pride from generations way past. Last but not least, government. Sweden is known for what is called the Swedish model of government, or otherwise just known as the Swedish model. Surprise, surprise. A lot of people really idolize the Swedish model of government right now. You oftentimes hear it referred to here in the United States, but for whatever reason, people just think it's associated with Denmark. In Sweden, it is a big relief, for instance, to know that you've got your medical coverage taken care of and your education taken care of, and even help for when you're elderly. With that said, I just want to remind you that there's no such thing as a free lunch. That money comes out of your own pocket, and Sweden is one of the most heavily taxed countries in the world. The question is whether or not the benefits you get from those taxes are actually worth it. I'll give you an example. I had a full biceps rupture one time, which required surgery. In the United States, I would have likely have just had insurance and probably would have waited 2 to 5 days to get an operation. In Sweden, it took me nearly a month to get an operation. And this was at a time when I was paying 56% of my income in taxes. So think on that for a bit. The Swedish form of government really does, I think, benefit the lower class. With that said, if you're middle class and up in the United States, I think the benefits are really negligible. Last, I would like to say a government does not a country make. If you're thinking about going to one of the Scandinavian countries or Sweden just for the sake of the government alone, I think that's a big mistake. There's a whole lot of culture there that you also need to fit in with. So do your research first. Reach out to me if you want to. I've obviously lived back and forth for my entire life and know quite a bit. That's about all I got for today, so have a good day.